Hello again, everybody. Uh, this is my little recap video clip for SCOM 363, International Public Relations. Um, a short explanation about my international campaign. Well, I chose the mental health campaign, mental health awareness campaign, to do it in Russia, because Russia is a place that struggles a lot for a variety of reasons with mental health, and as a result, they have the third highest suicide rates in the world, especially among men who commit suicide in Russia 5 or 6 times the rate of women in Russia. Um, the main goal of the campaign was two or threefold. Overall, we wanted to reduce suicide rates through raising of awareness about really the true nature of mental health issues themselves, and some of the resources that are available in Russia, which is actually a pretty new phenomenon. Um, but we did. The main idea was a media and informational awareness campaigns. So I did uh, a variety of public service announcements in broadcast and print and promoted posts on social media, because research indicated that, one, those places get a lot of traffic. The most popular television channel in Russia, Channel 1, uh, has something like 250 million daily viewers in some way or another. Social media, native social medias like VK, which is kind of the Russian equivalent to Facebook, is really popular among my target demographic, the key public, which is Russian men aged 15 to 25. But sites like that, sites like Instagram and YouTube, that are also both really popular, because they're not linked to any one language, so anybody can use them, and they're popular in Russia for reasons like that. But we did a variety of public service announcements, and like anti-smoking stuff is the closest equivalent I can think of, featuring real life examples of a lot of the issues that Russian men especially struggle with, because it's a very macho culture, a very male independent focused, and that's a big reason why so many people, especially so many Russian men, struggle with mental illness, because they don't want to look weak. Um, Got three important takeaways from this short summer course and your assignments. I didn't. It's a lot of vocabulary. I I can appreciate that there's a lot of technical language, because it leads me to think that uh, there's a lot of work that has been done in the field, and so it's a good way to cover all the bases. I was a little intimidated at first, especially with that crossword, because I was like, you got to read through the chapters and do the crossword, because there was a lot of stuff. It's concepts I knew, but like words and vocabulary that I wasn't really familiar with, and I think that's a really good takeaway, that uh, technical language, especially in something like this, isn't necessarily for no reason. It's so that so many unique individual things and concepts have uh, their own term that describes them specifically. Something else I didn't. Another takeaway of mine was something that I didn't really see coming, was just how much work just goes into campaigns like these, because it's demographic research and budgeting and campaigning and the calendar, and then just doing the campaign itself. I think I already said that. That were just so There was so much depth to all of them that I wasn't really prepared for. But there's so much information out there at the same time, that it all comes together in a way that paints some really interesting pictures, especially demographic information and social. I'm going to use the word social statistics, even though I don't really think that's a thing, but like social statistics that really kind of put together how some things are happening in a culture, and I wasn't really prepared for the depth of that either. Um, God, do I have a third important takeaway? It's I know when we opened the class, one of the big ideas was you have to keep in mind that a lot of these cultures are really different from what not just ours, but from one another, from every other culture. But even then, there's a lot of themes that come out in some very different cultures, like just so many of the same things that kind of pop up for different reasons, but so many similarities that arise completely independent of one another. And I think it's a good thing to keep in mind that so many of these things happening at the same time kind of indicate that we're not really all that different. And it is obviously important to keep in mind that we're still pretty different, but some things do have a pretty common answer in between them. I think I'm kind of rambling at this point, but hmm. But yeah, so I had a good time with the class. It was a lot of work. Definitely wasn't prepared for that. But I do think there is a value to doing work like this, and it provides a really interesting perspective on a lot of things that most people really wouldn't give a second thought. Um, but yeah, I had a good time, and I hope you guys did too. So have a good rest of your summer, I guess. Good luck, everybody.